Hey guys, Primal Chaos here. Welcome to the channel. And it's always a good day when I'm going to be doing some Gacharic spin. As you guys know, I discovered these guys a couple of months ago, and I just really dig their vibe. I really like their the energy that they have and all that sort of stuff. And their story is pretty cool. I just noticed this went live about 20 hours ago, so this is cutting edge, brand new. It's a live version of probably so far one of my favorite songs, which is Mindset. And I'd love to see how these guys do this live on a reaction so I can sit down and really analyze this. This one was also dedicated to a one of the viewers out there, Guitar Roman maybe, who bought me a sizable coffee a while back very generously. So I know that you're into Gacharic spin live performances, so this one's sort of dedicated to you as well, man. So yeah, let's jump straight in. I mean, I know this song pretty well. But I've never seen them. Well, I've never really analyzed them performing it live anyway. So this is going to be a little bit different. I enjoy them, so hopefully you do too. This is Gacharic spin Mindset. Mindset. Great snare sound, man. So what's really crazy is listening to Angelina singing, knowing the backstory of how she wasn't a singer and she's sort of learning still. She came in as a hype person, like a dancer, and they sort of threw her into the role of being a singer. Like, she's got some notes, man. There's like her voice quality seems to me to be as good as Hannah's, who's obviously a more accomplished singer. So she's been, I think it's just the fact that she's been dropped in the deep end and just had to be good. I think that's what it is. But look, what are my thoughts right now? It's always fun to watch Chopper play, or Koga, however you want to say her name. I like seeing Hannah front and center, putting her behind the kit. As she's a phenomenal drummer, but I feel like putting her behind the kit is a little bit sort of a waste, because she is such a performing element of the band. And back there, she's kind of like, she's got her hands full a lot of the time, you know what I mean? So I think they bring in Yuri to play some of the shows live on drums, and Hannah can move over to guitar and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, look, these guys, I'd love to be in the audience, because it's particularly... it'd be cool to be in an audience where there was no sort of polite rules. I'd love to see like a more high energy show. Maybe if they got a huge fan base in the West where people are more prone to acting out like in an audience, that would be kind of cool. But still, I mean, these guys are all probably having a blast.
仕方なくないすっては怒られ TPO わきましっかり今日も過ごすつまんねえなクロストーク聞いてねえな私のトークいいですねどうでもねえにを任せてベコベコスマイル上々です調子はどうですごきティンチェックだから聞いてなうるさい
Love that change up there, man. That's cool.
世界が本当はベロベロベルがない月曜日ランランランランウェイセットボタンで消しちゃいましょうセーブなしていいから上はアップしていた君の星を当てにしてもうちょっと自分を愛せたらきっと楽しいね
It's all my love and life. Come on, man. Look at this. This section of the song just moves so hard into like acid jazz territory. It's crazy. You know, just all their solos are like the song itself is kind of interesting because it's a funk groove, and you know, as a whole, it's just kind of standard modern punky sort of funk, right? All the individual playing is exceptionally good, but it doesn't stand out as being like it just stands out as more being like just a fun funk song. But then it morphs into this weird sort of like like acid jazz kind of far more esoteric section when they all get to express themselves individually. And I really dig that. I think that's part of the thing that captured my imagination with this song initially. I loved the punky sort of attitude, the youthful exuberance of it. Like in the video, they're smashing their instruments and stuff. And Ange is like, she's just a really engaging front person as far as just having that sort of young dynamic energy and attitude. But I think what really captured me with this song was that when it sort of started morphing into this solo section, and I'm like, what? Why are these guys so good? They're so amazing. I mean, Oreo's solo is spectacular, like piano solo. It's insane, you know. Like I sort of put the solo section of these guys up with, I won't say any specific band names, but ones that sort of people regard as being exceptional instrumentalists sort of in the prog scene. There's a lot of that sort of ability going on right here, you know, but I think just because they're not in that demographic of being proggy kind of musicians, they don't probably get the appreciation for their playing as much as those guys do. So anyway, let's jump back. I want to hear some more of this. Hang on. Here we go. Different. 無敵に Come on. Come on. You know what? Half of the time I was just watching Tomo going, I feel like if you offered her $100 million to leave the band, she wouldn't do it. She always seems like she's having so much fun when she's playing. That's really cool. All right, hang around after the break and I'll give a bit of a summary. Hey guys, this video is made possible by Enchroma. 1 in 6 guys and 1 in 200 women are colorblind, and if that happens to be you, there's something you can do about it. Click the link in the description, it'll take you to Enchroma's website where you can get a free eye test, and while you're there, maybe pick up some corrective lenses. They've got styles to suit everybody and a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you got really nothing to lose. And while you're there, use the code CHAOS in checkout to get 10% off. Tell them Primal Chaos sent you. All right, so am I unmuted? Yeah. So yeah, like that was fun. I like watching Gacharic Spin play live because you get to see how the sausage is made. You know, you can see them all playing their individual parts and all that sort of stuff. And I love that it doesn't appear that their live tracks are polished up. It's this kind of dark secret of the industry that a lot of times when you're watching a live DVD performance or, you know, like video performance, a lot of times they will cherry pick certain things from different shows, or they will dude, I've seen artists who their entire live performance they'll retrack all the vocals in a studio after the fact. So same with like how they do ADR in movies, dialogue replacement, where you know because it was too noisy on the set with traffic and stuff like that, they'll record like a vocal take, but they won't use that in the movie. They'll go into a studio and the actor will then re-say their lines in a better environment and lip sync to the video that that they recorded on the location. A lot of bands will do that, like, or they will replace guitar solos, or they will do things. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there's bands out there who completely replayed entire performances and things like that. It's a dirty little secret, but it is what it is because I mean nobody wants to disappoint their fans. Nobody wants to put out a video and everyone goes, man, they sounded trash that night, you know, because it wouldn't be the experience that the audience members were hearing. Because a lot of times, just the sheer volume of sound can cover a lot of indiscretions, right? When you're hearing a live band in a situation like this, the PA system is so loud that it covers a lot of little bits and pieces that you don't notice until you jump back in the studio where you've got really clean data from all of your inputs, you know, and you're going, okay, the microphone isolated, you know, guitar, drum mics, you set up a drum mix like you would if you were mixing an album in a studio. And having access to all of that clean information without that just volumetric melange of sound that's just bouncing around the room and all the reverb and the terrible acoustics and stuff like that, you can really hear what the performance sounded like. And sometimes it doesn't sound great. And a lot of that can be due to the artist on stage having that feedback of like, they're singing in a space through a massive PA. They can hear themselves through their monitors and stuff. They can also hear the sound bouncing around the room and coming back and all that clutter and noise. And so they might not be able to hear all that well. And the key to doing a really great performance, particularly vocally, is having a really good understanding of yourself, like being able to hear yourself, which is why you often see artists fixing their in-ear monitors or like telling the sound guy to turn them up in their stage monitors and things like that. Because if you can't hear yourself, you can't perform properly. And so there's a lot of times where artists have probably gotten back into the studio with their live tracking going, we sounded great that night. And then they hear it back and they're like, I was flat the entire time, you know? And so you can sort of pull out the vocal and you can jump in the studio and you can replace parts of it or, you know, just tidy things up or whatever. And that 100% happens. Whether or not you agree with that practice is up to you. But for me personally, I give it a bit of leeway because a lot of times, yeah, I mean, fundamentally, you don't want to disappoint your fans. You don't want to put out a terrible sounding live recording just because the night you recorded, the acoustics were bad or the stage mix wasn't great or, you know, something happened that was, out of your control. Maybe the singer wasn't well and they weren't hitting the notes as well as they could be. Maybe the guitar solo in a particular song, which is like vitally important, like the solo is a key part of what people love about it. If you don't play the notes exactly right because of you were running around or performing, or maybe you are a little bit gassed out from entertaining the crowd and you skipped a couple of notes or you missed some stuff, when people hear it, they'll be like, oh, that wasn't a very good version of this. I wish they'd have done it better that night. There's a million and one factors, and there's a reason why people do it. To me, it sounds like this is pretty raw. I think they basically just get the desk track and add it to the video. I don't think there's much mixing and stuff going on. And the beauty of that is, one, you get to see their true ability, and two, it matches the visuals. You can see when everyone's playing, and you can see what they're playing, and you get to see the energy. Now, I feel like one of the results of that is sometimes I feel like the energy that you would have as an audience member standing in the crowd in the front row watching this performance with that, like I said, that massive sound support of just insane amounts of volume coming at you in a space, I feel like this performance maybe suffers a little bit, if I had to make any kind of criticism at all, because hearing the clean audio from the desk, it takes away a lot of that just raw pounding energy of what was going on there at the location. And I feel like in this case, because the sound is a little bit raw, it would not be true to the character of being there on the night. I feel like the energy that these guys would have been pumping out that night would have been ripping your hair off, and so listening to it here, where you can turn the volume down, you can have it at a discrete listening level and things like that, and you're not hearing all of that spatial reverb, and you're not hearing just the roar of the amplifiers and all that sort of stuff. It made, like, what I'm getting at is this was great, but I would have loved to have been there. I would have loved to have been standing in the crowd feeling that energy that the band's putting out, because Gacharic's been a nothing if not a high energy dance band. That's what they are. You can see it in their performances, like particularly Oreo up the back. She just doesn't stop bouncing around, So yeah, but anyway, this was really cool. I'm glad I watched it. It's not my first time seeing Gacharic spin live, and it seems like a lot of their live videos have this sort of same flavor and energy, but it's always fun watching them play because they're so good. They're so talented. So yeah, but anyway, if you feel like I brighten your day at all, feel free to support the channel. Just buy me a coffee. There's a link in the description. And also like, share, subscribe, follow. If you feel like anyone else might enjoy this reaction, send it to them. But most importantly, let me know in the comments what I should do next. Or even just like what you like about these guys. I love reading about people's interpretations of what they see. What do you like about this particular performance? What don't you like about it? Let me know as well. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll catch you on the next one.